All right, greetings, Earthlings. It's Baba Kinderman. We're live in effect, live and direct, in full effect. This is a official test run here. This one here is the Juneteenth revival episode. You know, we just want to like get it started, you know, instead of waiting till the last minute. You know how we do in these perilous times. Sometimes we just, you know, take too long and end up doing what's wrong. So in this case, we want to get out ahead of this thing and like, you know, start preparing and prepping now for Juneteenth. Why? Because it's really the most, to me, the really most important holiday for us here in America. Black History Month seems like it celebrates, you know, history. And in this case, you know, we're celebrating freedom. You know, I think it's very important for us to have a start point, pop-off lounge, as you say, to deal with this concept of freedom, because it's the mind state we need to be in to advance ourselves collectively and personally. Freedom is the mind state we need to be in to advance ourselves personally and collectively. So you might want to call this one here Freedom School. You know what I'm saying? We basically want to take you to school on freedom to see, you know, what's going on with your, you know, your uhuru. You know, uhuru is a key Swahili word. So every now and then you hear me say uhuru sasa. That means freedom now. Uhuru sasa. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Juneteenth, as you know, Juneteenth is like once again one of the best important you know holidays for us as a people in this critical hour. So I pulled up a little article offline from that I actually found interesting, although you know I quite often take issue with the Negro himself. You know, somehow he's managed to like really get some really powerful content online, and I just think it's time for us to you know, add amendments to and things. But I don't have any beef with the things that I found concerning Juneteenth, you know, online from Mr. Lewis Gates. So, you know, if you type in, you know, 100 amazing facts about the Negro, you know, you can come up with this. But I found this through the most intense, though, examination of Juneteenth. So he says, Lewis Gates Jr. Originally posted on The Root, he says that the people of Texas, the first Juneteenth, the people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts, and they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere. Now, these are general orders, number 3, from headquarters of the District of Texas. This is Galveston, Texas. This is June 19th, 1865. Now, interestingly enough, the Emancipation Proclamation was written by Abraham Lincoln in 1863. So you're talking about a long period of time. You know, 2 years is a long time, 2 lagniappe years, you know, of freedom. So further, he goes on in here, when Major General Gordon Granger issued the above order, he had no idea that in establishing the Union Army's authority over the people of Texas, he was also establishing a basis for a holiday, Juneteenth, June plus 19th. Today, the most popular annual celebration of emancipation from slavery in the United States. After all, by the time Granger assumed command of the Department of Texas, the Confederate capital in Richmond had fallen. The executive to whom he referred, President Lincoln, unfortunately, had been shot and was dead, and the 13th Amendment abolishing slavery was well on its way to ratification. But Granger wasn't just a few months late. The Emancipation Proclamation itself, ending slavery in the Confederacy, at least on paper, had taken effect 2.5 years before, as I said, in 1863. And in the interim, close to 200,000 black men had enlisted in the fight. So formalities aside, wasn't it all over, literally, but not, you know, shouting. Let's look at that though. 200,000 brothers joined forces. There's not a war that has taken place in the United States of America that has not been on us or won by us. We have to take that into account, and we have to recognize that, you know, we're part of this in the sense of civil rights and natural law. We're part of this. So we need to, like, you know, broker that and leverage that into, you know, a more gameful and respectful reality for ourselves. You see? That's a tough one for you to say. You see, I had to pause because that's a tough one. But while we're in this predicament, we have to recognize and get them to acknowledge ourselves that we are entitled to every single natural civil right that there is. And we have to fight for that. We have to work for that. We have to ensure that that's the case. You see? So that's why we need to get started early. I know it's just June 5th. But, you know, my thing is I have a different twist from Mr. Gates here. I think it was called Juneteenth because we just weren't sure. We just heard somewhere around June that was the case. So I think we should start by celebrating Juneteenth from June 10th all the way to July 4th. Why? Because we need to inculcate, drill into, get into our minds, body, and soul that we are free now. You's free. You free. So, you know, we need to get into that. And we need to celebrate, you know, that overstanding, you know, with celebration. You know what I'm saying? We celebrate everything else. We get into these European holidays, participating in our own Holocaust, paying a Holocaust to participate in their idea of holidays. We can't afford their stuff. So I'm just saying, you know, we need to just, you know, really, really, really look at what, you know, what's going on with us, you know, and, you know, we need to work on getting ourselves free. You know what I'm saying? We need to just, you know, really, really, really look. You're on delay back there, girl. Yes, let's get free, y'all. Yes, so how we gonna get free? How are you gonna celebrate Juneteenth? So basically, I want to make a couple of suggestions. You know, instead of eating things that are like bad for you that won't allow you to enjoy this pending freedom, you know, let's look at making a more healthier choices, nutritional choices during our Juneteenth celebrations. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop, you know, eating things. Let's stop eating the nutrition, or shall I say, let's stop eating the diet that was available to us during slavery. You know what I'm saying? We didn't eat chitlins because we wanted to. We ate them chitlins because we had to. You see what I'm saying? We didn't eat no ribs because we wanted to. We ate them ribs because we had to. I know y'all are saying, "What, man? What is this guy talking about? Ribs?" Yeah, man. Really, you know it ain't a lot of meat on them bones, man. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is the hindquarters. That's where all the meat is on the cow, man. The ribs are, as you know, it's hard to get to, man. It's not you doing all that fighting for that little bit of meat. But guess what? Let's stop supporting their business interests, their business entities. You know, let me make my point on this one a little bit simpler and clearer. Think about it. How rich do you think the bus companies and fast food joints and the country of America got on the Million Man March? You know, the bus I rode on, unfortunately, you know, the buses we had, a couple of our buses had white drivers. We stopped at white Greyhound stations and white different places along the way. It was so disrespectful. They put the food outside for us. You know what I'm saying? And sure enough, brothers brought that fried chicken that they had out on the you know, in the bus terminal, you know, because they didn't want us in the store. Of course, there was incidents of them accusing us of stealing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was ridiculous. What if those white bus drivers had, you know, saying, you know what, man, I'm gonna run this bus to the the thing, you know, look at all the niggers I'm gonna be taking out with me if I you know, if I run it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, let's wake up, y'all. Let's get free for real. Let's make Juneteenth what it is. You know, man, we get out here, we buy pop, we get these firecrackers, we pop these firecrackers and everything for 4th of July. You know, as a matter of fact, it's gotten so bad. This past Christmas, what was that? Christmas Eve, I think. Wasn't that Christmas Eve, Mama D? When I was saying on Christmas Eve, I listened out and I heard brothers firing their guns off and and popping firecrackers. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, y'all got the wrong European holiday. You know what I'm saying? This is hilarious. You know, so I'm just saying, you know, we got to wake up and, you know, stop spending all of our money on European, you know, holidays. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. And we're too. Last year, we were preparing some research, well, a couple of years ago, actually, and we were talking about how much money we spent on the 4th of July. It's staggering, y'all. It's in the multi-millions. It's staggering how much money we spend for Halloween. It's staggering how much money we spend on Christmas. But it's not impressive how much money we spend for Juneteenth, y'all. It's ridiculous. To close this out and to make a spiritual point, one thing I do admire about them using June 19th is that it's close to June 21st. So this is June 21st is one of the more astrologically sound you know, holidays, and it's something that harkens to our ancient past. You know what I'm saying? So we need to think about, you know, what does it mean for us to get into some serious solstice celebrations? We are the descendants of people who understood astrology. June 21st is the summer solstice. This is when the sun is at its highest place. This is when it begins a series of days where there's 12 hours of sun and 12 hours of night. You know, this is a great time for certain plants to grow. There's certain plants that love those 12 hours of sun, certain fruits that love those 12 hours of sun. This is a plentiful time. This is the beginning of the 90-day period that leads to the fall equinox, AKA the first harvest. You see what I'm saying? So we have to like get back into these natural cycles and natural rhythms. What better time and what better way to celebrate Juneteenth than to get into some understanding of what are the summer crops that we should plant that are going to bring harvest for us in the fall. We need to get back to the land. We need to get back to the earth, get back to our agricultural roots, no pun intended. You see me? So yeah, Juneteenth, summer solstice, soul fest, soul people, soul brother, soul sister. Let's get back into the soul. Let's get back into freedom. Nappy Juneteenth. Nappy solstice.